Welcome. Hey, what is happening? Welcome to episode 55. No, I'm joking. I have no idea.
No, we're in our 30s, I think.
Welcome to another episode of On the Couch where we dive into the mortgage industry. We try to bring some light and some shiny armor to this beautiful world of finance, try to bridge the gap of financial literacy and talk about what it takes to be a mortgage agent. And then sometimes we just talk about gibberish and talking about tequila. Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
we did
Today.
talk about tequila. Johnny, tell everybody. Tell the people what happened.
So I was going out one night on a Saturday night, and I was downstairs in my bathroom, and I was literally just going downstairs to trim the beard and the what do you call these again?
Sideburns?
Sideburns. So I was just like trimming that, and to the right of me of my bathroom is my gym. And I heard my daughter, who is just learning to climb up and down the stairs. She must have gone through the gate and came downstairs. And I heard her playing in the room. As she's playing, I'm doing this and I turned my head at the same time and I trimmed the side of my head. I was like, oh man. So I immediately take out my clippers and I start trimming. And then I noticed one side. Okay, now I got to fix the other side. So I do the next side. I go upstairs, look at my wife. She's like, absolutely not. You're not coming. I said, but the people, like, we're going out for dinner with my cousin Vince and his wife Tanya. And she's like, not a chance. You need to fix it. You look like an idiot. So I go downstairs and then I start fixing it some more. Before I knew it, I already had the trim line up to here. Then I go do this side. Then 5 minutes later, I had a mullet because I just don't like this.
Mullets are in, though.
Yeah,
They are in right
but
now. You should have left the mullet.
I
I
couldn't.
would have loved to see you walk in here with a mullet
I couldn't do
on
it.
Monday morning.
I
Yep.
couldn't do it. So I just grabbed the clippers, number one, and I just trimmed everything. It was definitely no, it wasn't on purpose. I enjoy my hair. Throughout high school, growing up, I've always had short hair. Nobody even knew I ever had curly hair. And up until I had met my wife, she encouraged me to grow my hair because she liked the curls and she liked most of it. But I'm getting older and it's thinning. But yeah, I do enjoy having the curly hair some days, but right now I'm actually enjoying this and the fact that we bulk create. I can take my shirt off and put a shirt on, not have to worry about messing my hair. So it's been pretty good.
But you are going to grow it.
You know what? My wife really, really likes it, so
So it stands.
it might stay for a bit. Yeah, she likes this look.
As you
Yeah,
can see, Johnny wants to be like me.
100%. That's what Danny's been waiting for just me just to admit it. Just admit it, Johnny.
So boys, what are we talking about?
You are who you hang around with. Isn't that the key?
That's what.
That's what they say.
We're talking about, let's start off with something very important to any business, but primarily yours, networking.
Oh boy.
How important is networking, especially in the mortgage industry?
I think it is the key essential. Like you can take away my Instagram, social media. You could take away this podcast. You could take away my phone. Ultimately, you can give me a pen and a paper, and I will continue doing business because networking is the key essential thing you need to grow your business. You need to meet new people, make new connections. You need to solve someone's problem, help somebody, have somebody help you. That's the key of networking. So yeah, it's probably the most important aspect.
Like for me, 100% networking.
Yeah.
But I do see a lot of agents that do very good on social
Yep.
that have made what?
Social still networking.
Okay, in another way, but I'm saying like face to face networking.
The
Like
belly to belly kind of. I like belly to belly.
it
Kind of
builds
thing.
trust,
Yeah.
right? When you're talking to somebody. I like like Johnny was saying, the belly to belly, the face to face
Yep.
type of networking. That's how I've made my. It is going downhill a little bit, and social media networking type is going on an upward motion. There's no. I mean, there's a lot of people that they've built their entire business because of social media. Like I got a lot of friends that just started up a new business and they took off because they focused nothing but on social media. Where I'm the old school way in a sense where
Yeah.
I like to be out. My mom's like, you're never home. My mom. My mom used to say that back in the day too. But my wife's like, "You're never home.
But you
Always
are
out."
always home.
Well,
But you are.
I am, but I like to get out. And I like to see people. I like to be around people. I mean, that's how I've created my entire business.
I mean, the screen is important because, but it's important for the branding aspect of it. But when you're asking to shake hands and rub bellies with somebody, that is a totally different animal. And I think I like the aspect of people knowing who we are. A lot of our audience is people that we've been growing around. We grew up with, we went to school with, we've networked with, we've done business with. But networking itself, I think it is and always will be the handshake and belly to belly. I don't think that'll ever be taken away. No, I don't think so because a lot of trust is being built through the lens, right? Like I mean the authenticity, which is why I like what Danny and I do on the show. We're journaling or we're documenting the highs and the lows of this business. It's not always just the highs. Like we talk about it and we say it a lot of the times. Like it's not easy first to be in front of the lens, but it's really not easy being a mortgage broker or agent in this day and age, right? Like networking is extremely hard. Like that's probably the hardest aspect of the business, I think.
Isn't it?
Yeah, people think it's getting in front of the lens and making videos. And I have to say that's, yes, it's not easy. That's hard. But
I
the
think
hard,
it's hard for time.
like
Because
finding the time to do it,
finding the time to do it.
I think it's harder to find the time and the courage
And the courage, yeah,
to do.
100%.
But that's that same thing and discipline goes for networking. Finding the time and the courage to do the tasks that you need to do to network.
Now, we're talking networking with customers. What about networking in your business within?
So I want to touch on that because something came up recently, and I'm not dogging anybody, but I have to bring this up. I've been networking and reaching out and cold calling and dripping and nurturing referral sources for the last 7 years. I've been told to fuck off. I've been blocked. I've been categorized as spam. I've been told I'm annoying. I've been told many things. And as of recent, I've had many, many, many people in our industry now get into the mortgage brokerage side of things, right? Whether they were a realtor, now they became a broker. Now all of a sudden they're a lender. They own a MIC. And now all of a sudden I'm starting to get their drips, their nurturing, their phone calls on my phone and asking me to send them business. What is the difference of what I've been doing for the last 7 years? Why treat me like a piece of shit when I make an outbound call and you tell me I'm annoying? Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Where we go? Yeah, you just want to suck for me and send me. You know what I'm talking about? And then now, when you need me, you're making the same outbound call. You're making the same outbound reach. How about this, everybody? We're all in this business to grow. If I'm reaching out to you and you're not interested in my services or my business or networking with me, great. Be respectful. Let me know. Be courteous. Don't be rude. Because when you call me, I guarantee you, because I knocked on doors for 5 years, I will allow you to give your pitch, your spiel. I will talk to you. I will guide you. I might even put you in a direction that.
I actually like this about Johnny. If someone comes knock on his door, he'll come in and tell us on Monday, let's say.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, this kid came to knock on my door,
Yeah.
and this was his
script.
His script. And I'm like, you sat there and you listened? He goes, yeah. I told him, listen, I'm not going to buy from you, but I want to hear your script. If you're not focused in the mortgage business, why are you in this industry? So it's that much, I'm going to say, easier for us to help get them to where they want to be because they come into this business knowing that, you know what, it's up to them or it's not going to work out at all, right? So, I mean, that helps us in that sense. But we try to take it to another level and we try to, I'm going to say hold their hands, but come up with ideas, strategies, and programs so that they can actually excel in this field and not just, leave it up to them. Like a lot of agents that come here or have come here from other brokerages, they go join these brokerages because of, better splits or closer to their homes or whatever the case is. Or they were, convinced by the principal broker that this is the best place to be at, and then they're left there,
Left.
left to do
No.
Not, I mean, they don't
Gotta
get
figure
no,
it,
they
gotta
don't get no
figure it out
help.
on their
They
own.
got to figure it out on their own. And we try to take it to another level. We try to see what's going wrong with other brokerages and try to give something back to our agents so that they can succeed. I think before we were like, oh, we're so happy someone wanted to join the brokerage,
Yeah.
right? But now we've actually created, whether it's our journey, whether it's our EHBP program, whether it's our 70 by 70, whether it's our Your Nestle education courses that we have put together, whether it's our CRM that we've built or still is building, making it better. We do these things to help these agents succeed. So now we are very more, I'm going to say, as you say, vet them to make sure that they're a better fit from us
Yep.
than just adding the ordinary or the any.
hurdles in place where they need to perform consecutively doing something.
That's the only way you're gonna manage. Like you asked, how do we manage the growth?
How do you manage the goal?
The only way by managing growth is by tracking metrics. That's the only way you're gonna do it in my books. So if you're gonna come in and be a pokeroo, and there's not much to track because there's nothing that I can look at on a graph, right? That says, hey, this is your performance. This is the data that we're receiving from your performance, and this is what the outcome is looking like. And unless we have that to track, it's impossible to create growth. I
So would you say that a lot of agents are like illusionists?
zero.
You see something, but it's really not there.
So I had this conversation with our agents on one of our calls recently, and I said, when you're at an event, and when I go to an event with Danny, and we walk into the room, and you ask an agent like, "Hey, how's it going?" "Yeah, we're doing all right, man. I'm on track to do 15 million this year in funded volume, or I'm on track to do 30 million, which is great. That's everybody's conversation. I was telling our team, when you go out there and you start telling people, like when they ask you, how are you doing? And you say, yeah, well, I'm doing all right. My conversion between pulled applications to close ratio is 45%. That to me is managing growth. That to me, as leaders, as mentors, as coaches, Danny and I, is that's how we are different than everybody else out there. We're managing our growth because we track our metrics. I can tell you every one of our agents' closing ratios from pulled credit applications, because that's to me is a true application, to closed deals. I can tell you how many outbound calls to live connections, outbound calls to live connections to appointments made to presentations, presentations to signed network or business partners,
VIP.
VIPs.
Have you guys created though a little grace period where people can get their feet wet here and allow them to grow in a different mindset? Because maybe they came from somewhere where it's much more different than what you guys have established here. Do you give them that growth section?
Yeah. So
I don't know if that
I
makes
th-
sense. Hold on a second.
I think we've given more grace than we ever should have in the past, where we've allowed agents to do like there's got to be some standards, and it's been a hard juggling act for me and Danny to say what is that minimum acceptance, because there is a level of culture that we want to have, there is a pedigree that we want to sustain, but what is that minimum line? Like, you not doing business for 6 months, is that acceptable to us? Yes, it can be, because if we see that you're not pokeroo and that you're doing the outbound stuff, and you're making the efforts and you're being consistent and you're honing in on your skills and you're practicing, because the industry you came from was not something of similar work. It wasn't a sales outbound activity. So that to us is something that we would have grace period to. But if you are a pokeroo and you told me that you printed 1,000 flyers, and 3 weeks later you still have 1,000 flyers, is that a problem? Because that just tells
Problem is commitment.
you, no, that is, you are well done. You're very good at saying things, but your execution is very poor. So to me, and when you look at that 7 months later, and it's like, hey, you printed 1,000 flyers and you still have 800. So you've only delivered 200 flyers in 8 months. Is that acceptable to us? We're very lenient. It's like, we don't say to somebody, oh, you have to do X amount of business. It's like, you're in business for yourself. Like but when we're giving our time and our efforts and our resources and our training programs, like our CRM that we just launched very recent, Broker Boost, and our training modules and our videos and the Ernesta University that's inside the CRM, it's given to our agents. It's not something that they have to come and pay for. It's given to them. So
It's do they use them now? That's what you want to see. You want to see them actually use the tools that you provide.
correct.
And if they don't, then they're probably not a good fit for you.
Well, I mean, if you're using the tools, then you should be exceeding.
And you can see it.
100%.
And if they don't use it correctly, will you then help them to understand it?
Yes. So I can tell you from recent, we only have right now, we've been working very closely with all our agents. So there's 14 agents that are really active at the moment. 3 of them are very new. But out of the 13 agents, we've been tracking all their metrics for the last 7-8 months, since the beginning of the year, really.
January, since we
January.
started the 770 program for the first time.
So we've been tracking all the metrics. So now we have data to manage their growth. So now we can go back to them and say, hey, listen, like this is what we've done. This is where we're at. It's acceptable. We're okay with it because it's a whole. We're a group. We're a team. We work together. Now we're going to take this data and now we can work from it. We can hone these skills. We can push. We know what's working, what's not working, what areas to dial up on, what to focus on, really.
And we also know how to dial in on tequilas.
Yes, we do.
And cenote, which is the very first time you've ever had a
No, it's not.
It's the second time we've had cenote on this.
Second, maybe third, maybe.
cenote.
Second time.
Second?
Yep.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah, the last time we got this, Nick brought it.
Nick brought cenote?
Yeah, he did.
He brought in Neho for
Yeah.
sure.
Okay, so
It was the
Johnny,
dark.
it's in your hand. Let's go.
Yeah, so cenote as a brand itself is absolutely fuego. I love the style. I love the. I think their corks are incredible, especially the ones that comes on the añejo bottle, the darker
It
alcohol.
reminds me of Bombay gin. Is that what they're called, Bombay?
Yeah, yeah.
It kind of. I don't know
What's the
why
matter?
it is.
What's happening?
It kind of
It does have that
blue look to it. Yeah.
It's from the blue agave for sure.
So let's talk about the look, Johnny. What are we giving it?
Oh, this is a super, super sexy bottle. I love the Cenote brand. I love the bottle. It's going to get an 8 out of 10 for the bottle for me. The taste itself, oh boy, it kind of gave me a kick in my chair.
Really?
I've had this. Yeah, it's a little heavy.
So appearance-wise, you're giving it a?
8 out of 10.
Okay.
Taste-wise, it's going to get 6.5 for me.
Okay.
Yeah, it could have been just the day, so I do have to have it again.
Okay.
Blancos are not my favorite. We know that.
And
So 6.5.
price-wise, Danny, do you have the price?
This is expensive, isn't
Yeah,
it?
this is a $90 bottle of
Yeah.
Johnny's drawing red
Blanco
flags right
tequila.
away.
Yeah.
So what are you giving it price-wise? Clearly.
6.5. It's too expensive.
So overall, 7.5.
Yeah, like-
7.
7 overall, give or take. Yeah.
Okay.
Because the appearance. Like I like the brand. The brand itself is really good. The Cenote, was it the Resposado or the Guave one? I don't remember. But it was really, really, really good. So
Hand it over
this
to Danny.
is not on my list.
Okay, Danny. Danny's smiling. This could be a good one.
Is it a good one?
I don't know.
I mean, I'm
Start
with
off with
Johnny.
the look.
I'm with Johnny on the look of the bottle. Yeah, I'll definitely give it an 8.
Okay. Now talk to me about price. You can't be sitting well with the price.
Well, $90 bottle of Blanco has got to be impressive for me in order to give it a good number, a good rating. And it doesn't do it for me, to be honest.
Okay. What are you giving it?
It is a
Uh-oh.
best with, well, I mean, it's best mixed and sipping on it. I wouldn't be shooting this at all, to be honest. I'm not.
So you're
I'm not
giving
19
flavor-wise.
years
You're giving
old
it what?
anymore. Sorry.
What are you giving it flavor-wise?
Flavor-wise, I'm gonna give it a 7.
And cost?
You can really taste the additives in this one, to be honest.
Ooh. And cost?
It costs $90. 7.
So
Not even,
overall,
maybe
you're
even a
7.
6.5.
You're 7 then overall.
Yeah, it's a 7. I mean, the Cenote Anejo bottle.
Yeah, it was fuego.
Was excellent.
Yeah, I have it at home. It's empty actually now.
Was that
It's really good.
equally priced?
Yeah.
I think that was a 120 bottle.
Nick, right?
$10 more.
$10 more.
For
Yeah.
$100, you get an Anejo. Like,
So then why would anyone, so question guys, before we end this episode, why would anyone buy that if the $10 increase is substantially better?
It depends on preference, I guess. Right? Like for me, the other bottle is way better.
Nick, do you agree? 100%. Nick says the same. There you go.
And the only silver drink I drink is grappa. And we should do a special edition one day.
Wow.
Grappa one?
A grappa.
Grappa? Tequila connoisseurs are going to be very upset about that. Johnny, where can they find us for hate mail?
Well, listen, I like this episode. This is really good because I do want to touch on what you said earlier before. I'm not out here to bash anybody. I'm just making sure that you're not bashing me. Let's be clear. So what's good for the goose is good for the gander, as they say. You could
So many little
you could find me here on the couch. You could find me reading books right here on this couch. 12 Park Boulevard in Bolton. You can find us on the Couch Podcast 23 on Spotify, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. You can find me at Your Nesta Financial. And Danny?
At Mortgages by Danny C.
Yes, sir. If you like the show, share the show so we can grow.